Well, ladies and gentlemen, it had to actually happen one of these days where I decided to do something really crazy and stupid, and that is go after the likes of Hasan Piker, who is, I believe, one of the biggest political Twitch streamers around, who has about 6 million followers across all of his platforms. But nevertheless, that has never stopped me from calling out or criticizing people with large followings in the past, such as Candace Owens and pretty much anyone that I think is lying, not telling the truth, and saying things that you really shouldn't be, well, you're allowed to say it, but you really shouldn't be saying it. And Hasan Piker is one of those people. If you don't know any of his political leanings, he's obviously pro-Palestine or pro-Gaza. He is related to, get this, the Young Turks Cenk Uygur. Apparently, Cenk is his uncle, which you don't really need to say too much more. And the anger and the aggressiveness runs in the family, believe it or not, because for Hasan and Cenk, they think they can only get their points across by yelling and screaming and ranting and raving and chucking a little pity party or tantrum. And, well, I think Cenk, in some regards, I don't think there's anything that I've really agreed with Cenk on, believe it or not. And that goes for Hasan Piker. Now, Hasan has one of the biggest Twitch streaming platforms around. Many of you may know who the man is. And he is becoming quite well known for saying one particular thing. He's telling people to go unalive themselves if he doesn't like you. So if Hasan finds out who you are on the internet, he will go on Twitch and tell his tens of thousands of followers on a live stream to go and unalive yourself. Like, that to me is not signaling or actually like making yourself look like you are a good person at all. In fact, if you're doing that and you're telling your crazy followers, hey, go and, like, to a person that is speaking about, go and unalive yourself, and I can't use the actual terminology on this pathetic censorship platform known as YouTube. But anyway, Drew Pavlo, who I follow over on X, unfortunately got in the crosshairs of Hasan Piker recently. When Hasan found out Drew, he told Drew to go and unalive himself. So the biggest political Twitch streamer in the world just told tens of thousands of people that I should, myself, I will report this to the Australian Federal Police to make sure that he is denied a visa to enter Australia in the future. Now, recently, Hasan was detained at the US airport for quite some time. The popular streamer claims he was detained for hours by US airport officials over his political views. Could it be over the things that you're actually saying, which is actually quite dangerous? The guy is a Muslim supporter. I think he is actually Muslim. I think he's from Turkey, along those lines. He was born in the US, but heritage is from Turkey. So, and I think he is siding with the pro-terror individuals, the pro-terror group. I just need to point that out for you all. He's been on Piers Morgan a number of times, and he is actually dangerous with his views. I don't say that often, but his views are dangerous. If you're going around telling someone to unalive themselves, you have got a significant problem, especially if you're telling tens of thousands of people, which you don't know any of them. You don't know what they're capable of at all. If you're going and saying that online, you should be considered a danger to society or a threat to society as well. Like, how dare you actually do that sort of thing? So Yeet goes, Hasan adds to his collection of telling people to, what themselves. This time he implies that everyone would be happy if Drew Pavlo did the deed. A lot of people would cheer. Effing awesome. Please do. Like, again, who does this person think that he is? Just because he is a popular Twitch streamer? It's a problem. You don't go and say to anyone to end their life, especially if you are male. Because in today's day and age, if you haven't looked at the statistics, a vast majority of men are choosing to you know what? It's sad, but this guy doesn't care about life. He doesn't care about anyone because if someone supposedly disagrees with Hasan takes that as personal and he goes after them and tells them to just, end it all. There you go, done. No more. Joe Schmo goes, second biggest political Twitch streamer. Get it right. Trust me, it will trigger Hasan more. Well, I should probably make that correction myself. One of the biggest, not the biggest. Drew Pavlo, there is a serious error in your post here. Houthi Dick Ryder Piker isn't the biggest political streamer in the world. Asmund Gold is. A fact that, to our benefit, pisses him off immensely. I like you. Based Hudson Hawk. Can't wait to see him say Australia detained him for 2 hours. I hope Australia doesn't even let him in, believe it or not, because I wouldn't want anyone like this in my country, because it's bad enough we've got people in this country that say this kind of stuff. We don't need someone from the US to say this kind of stuff on his streaming platform and then come to this country to spout it even more. No, thank you, mate. That is really disgusting and despicable. But more than that, Hasan and bad empanada joke about how they want to make my future son a janissary. I didn't know that terminology, but thankfully Drew points out what a janissary is. Janissaries were young children, boys, kidnapped by the Ottoman Empire as a blood tax. They were forced to convert to Islam and made into military slaves. Hasan Piker is a Muslim supremacist who laughs about historical atrocities inflicted by his people, the Turks. Obviously, we know Hasan is related to Cenk Uygur, had the Ottoman Empire sort of background with the Turks. And obviously, Cenk is the founder of the Young Turks, and seems like Hasan is definitely a young Turk. He's only 33 years old, and he's got some very outrageous views on things. And one of those things, obviously, is he believes in the religion of Islam. We all know what happens to people that believe in the religion of Islam, the downright lie. You don't care about life at all. You care more about death than you do about life. And that's seemingly what's going on with Hasan. Especially, you can just look at the things that he's talking about, the things that he's saying, and telling people just go, nah, sorry, you're done. Go do it. There's no heart at all. And to be frank, I think more people should be calling him out on it. I wonder how many people that follow me actually follow Hasan. I wonder how many people are going to come after me now that I've gone after Hasan and criticized him. Who knows? But I think it's important that we call people out on this kind of stuff and say that it's not right. You shouldn't be telling anyone at all just because you disagree with them politically, just because they've called you out. And they have every right to do that. Otherwise, you shouldn't be a bloody Twitch streamer. You shouldn't, if you don't have, like in your own words, Hasan, if you are fed up with someone having a large audience and having the rights to criticize you, you shouldn't, being a baby, you shouldn't have that massive audience and go away from it. But instead, you've chosen the other route, which is exactly what your uncle does quite well. That's the only thing that he does well, is yell and scream, rant and rave, and make a big deal about it. Seems like Muslims are very good at doing that too. But anyway, dear oh dear, there's so much more that I could say or talk about Hasan, but I won't, because I'm already getting fed up that I've gotten this far into the video and I'm just like, oh man, oh man, oh man, there's a lot more, but I'll leave it at that, my friends. But just be careful, be very wary of Hasan if you aren't already. But anyway, I appreciate you guys enormously. You guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.